How's it going, everybody? I really appreciate you taking your time tuning into my video. Most of the talk lately has been about the 87,000 new IRS agents being hired, including some that will be armed. And rightfully so, people should be talking about it. So let's take a look at the arsenal of firearms and ammunition the IRS has, as well as reports showing how poorly the agents are trained and that they have more unintended discharges than intended ones. Some of the 87,000 new agents who Democrats propose to hire at the IRS could come with some extra firepower. Last Friday, House Democrats gave final passage to the tax and spending bill they dubbed the Inflation Reduction Act. Among other things, would double the size of the IRS with 87,000 new agents to beef up enforcement. As of 2 years ago, the IRS had an arsenal of 4,600 guns reported by OpenTheBooks, a government watchdog group. 2 federal investigations in the past decade found that IRS agents had not been sufficiently trained and were accident prone with the weapons that they have. Armed IRS raids on nonviolent taxpayers surfaced as a concern almost 25 years ago during a Senate hearing. The legislation, which unwinds from 2023 to 2031, would devote $80 billion to expanding the IRS and boosting tax revenue to pay for Democrats, green energy subsidies, and other pet projects. Americans for Tax Reform, a conservative group that opposes the legislation, assembled the information about the IRS arsenal from government and media reports. During the House floor debate on Friday, Representative Lauren Boebert, a Republican from Colorado, raised concerns about arming IRS agents. This bill has new IRS agents and they are armed, and the job description tells them that they need to be required to carry a firearm and expect to use deadly force if necessary, Boebert said. Excessive taxation is theft. You are using the power of the federal government for armed robbery on taxpayers. Representative John Yarmuth, a Democrat from Kentucky, suggested that no IRS agents are armed. The idea that they are armed. I know that Ms. Boebert would like everybody to be armed, but that's not what IRS agents do, Yarmuth said. I would implore my Republican colleagues to cut out the scare tactics. Quit making things up. I guess Representative Yarmuth doesn't know or doesn't care that once you put something on the internet in some form or another, it's going to remain there, even though it's deleted. In a posted job opening for a special agent, the IRS specified that the applicants should be willing and able to participate in arrests, execution of search warrants, and other dangerous assignments, and able to carry a firearm and be willing to use deadly force if necessary. After sparking some controversy amid the proposed expansion of the agency, the IRS deleted willing to use deadly force from the job description. The IRS referred questions to the Treasury Department as to whether the arsenal would increase as the number of personnel multiplies. The Treasury Department did not immediately respond for the request for comments. So let's take a look at what the IRS has in their arsenal for guns and ammunition. The current IRS workforce includes 78,661 full-time employees. The Democrats' legislation would more than double the agency employees. A 2020 report from the OpenTheBooks titled "The Militarization of the U.S. Executive Agencies" shows that the IRS Criminal Investigation Division has a stockpile of 4,600 guns. The firearms include 3,282 pistols, 621 shotguns, 539 rifles, 15 fully automatic firearms, and 4 revolvers. The Government Accountability Office, a federal watchdog agency, reported in 2018 that the IRS had 3.1 million rounds of ammunition for pistols and revolvers. The tax agency had 1.4 million rounds of ammunition for rifles, along with 367,750 shotgun shells and 56,000 rounds of other ammunition. And the reason I say other ammunition, because in this report it says for automatic weapons, and where they came up with that, who knows. Let's talk about the IRS's armed agents. And according to reports, they're not properly trained. The IRS's National Criminal Investigation Training Academy has the responsibility to implement firearms training and a related qualification program nationwide. However, IRS agents assigned to the Criminal Investigation Division regularly failed to stay up to date with training or to report incidents of improper firearm use. According to a 2018 report from the Treasury Department's Inspector General for Tax Administration. The Inspector General's report notes that there is no national level review of firearms training records to ensure all special agents meet the qualification requirements. Special agents not properly trained in the use of firearms could endanger the public, as well as their fellow special agents, and expose the IRS to possible litigation over injuries or for damages, the report says. For qualification, each agent must score 75% or higher on the firing range, but the IRS lacked documentation showing its agents met the standards, according to the Inspector General. The report says 79 of the 459 special agents in the agency's long gun cadre failed to meet standard qualification requirements. Further, the report says that the IRS could not provide information about whether 1,500 special agents were trained in tactical equipment efficiency. In the year 2016, the Inspector General's report determined the IRS Criminal Investigation Division did not maintain documented evidence that 145 out of 2,126 special agents met the firearm standards established by CI, which is Criminal Investigation, and therefore were not qualified law enforcement officers. Now let's take a look about the reports that show that IRS agents have had more unintended discharges than intended ones. The poor firearms training for IRS agents has led to more accidental firings than intentional firings, according to a separate Inspector General's report in 2012. Having the availability of deadly force puts hiring so many new agents in perspective. Grover Nordquist, president of Americans for Tax Reform, said in an interview, the Inspector General for Tax Administration found they fired their guns more times by accident than on purpose, Nordquist said. The poor training was not a new problem, since the 2012 report from the Inspector General found similar issues with firearm training. If there is insufficient oversight, special agents in possession of firearms who are not properly trained and qualified could endanger other special agents and the public, the report said. The 2012 report not only found IRS agents fired their weapons more time by accident, more times than intentionally, but that the agency concealed details about the accidental discharges. There were a total of 8 firearm discharges classified as an intentional use of force incidents and 11 discharges classified as accidental during fiscal years 2009 through 2011. And the Inspector General report continues. We found that 4 accidental discharges were not properly reported. It says that the accidental discharges may have resulted in property damage and personal injury. The public report, however, redacts 4 references to unreported accidental discharges of firearms. And these idiots now want to hire 87,000 more IRS agents and arming some of them so this abuse can continue to happen. As always, let me know your thoughts about the story in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed the video, or if I gave you some information you didn't know, please take time to like, share, and subscribe and hit those post notifications. And I'll see you guys in the next video.